Now, it is simply an empirical fact that in most married households with children, wives, mothers do more of the cooking than husbands, fathers do. Now, this is changing. So men are starting to step up and do more of the cooking. Part of this is sort of the celebrity chef phenomena that's taken hold in the last 15 or 20 years, kind of encouraging men to step up to the plate. And again, we're talking averages here. So there may be many husbands that do far more of the cooking, and indeed most of the cooking for the household. But in general, if you're looking at empirical research, it says that women still do more of the cooking than men. But what we have here is the exception to that rule. This is the barbecue, and this is a quintessentially male part of the domestic landscape, and is very much the exception to the rule when it comes to who will do the cooking. Now, there are many things about the barbecue that make it quintessentially a male thing. The first is the very symbolism of cooking meat on a barbecue. If you were to show a group of people a series of food images, and were to ask them to rate the images on a number of dimensions, one of which is masculine versus feminine on a scale, and you ask them to talk about why they thought that way, one of the most strongly skewed images that you'll find would be meat cooking on a barbecue, which will be off the scale in terms of it being seen as inherently masculine. In fact, meat in general, regardless of the association with the barbecue, tends to be seen as a masculine kind of food. So much so, in fact, that when the running back for the Houston Texans, Arian Foster, announced that he was going to go vegetarian, many fans began tweeting and commenting on social media what a disaster this was going to be, because he wasn't going to be an effective, big, strong American football player unless he continued to eat meat. So that's how strong the association is. But I would argue that there are other reasons that the barbecue is stereotyped as inherently masculine or manly or a male sphere. One of them is simply the notion of cleaning the device. I don't know if you can get a clear look at just how horribly filthy that barbecue is, and the level of grease. Here's another detailed kind of look at really filth. I mean, it's really hard to imagine any surface in the kitchen proper being left that filthy. It just isn't going to happen. But in the barbecue, somehow we think it's all right to walk away from the grease. And when we do clean the barbecue, another cool, very masculine thing is that we clean by scraping the surface with something that is itself metal and pretty horribly filthy. So, what better way to clean a masculine way than scraping a surface with something metal? It just seems inherently manly. And the other thing that we don't think about much when we think about cleaning the barbecue is you tend to clean the barbecue before you cook, when you're still hungry. You still got a bit of motive to get in there and clean, as opposed to when you cook in the kitchen. Most of the cleaning part occurs after you've had the meal, you're full, you're contented. Who the heck wants to clean anything then? So you can see there are a lot of reasons why men tend to gravitate to the barbecue and why it is viewed by society, by both men and women, as an inherently male or masculine domain. And so what I've taken up doing is teaching my 13-year-old daughter to cook on the barbecue, so we can get rid of these silly gender stereotypes once and for all.